What's going on, guys? It's Danny with Gear Candy, and you know that I'm all about quality on this channel. I want to make sure you guys are always getting the latest and greatest in terms of 4K, 6K, whatever it is the TVs are offering. I want to be one of the first guys pioneering that kind of quality to you guys. And the GH5, after seeing some footage, I absolutely had to get it. So let's go ahead and jump into this unboxing right now. First, let's take a look at the box. Let's put this thing over there. So we've got Panasonic GH5 4K Micro 4/3. Micro 4/3 is the size of the sensor. This is a really small sensor, but it's supposed to be really good for 4K. Not too much going on. It's kind of a plain box. They have it's a somewhat big box with a little small picture of the camera, which I find a little bit strange. But anyways, let's go ahead and open this thing up. All right, so where do we open it? Here we go. So we've got some accessories here. I show the battery grip. There's one of the interesting things about this camera is really exciting. They've got a XLR microphone adapter, so you're able to get this adapter, shoe mount it on the hot shoe on top of the camera, and essentially power an XLR microphone. XLR microphones tend to be a whole lot better sounding than your typical shotgun mics. I actually record with an XLR mic as well. And it'll be nice to be able to bring my XLR microphone with running gun shoots on this camera. Let's get this thing open for 6K/4K photo. 6K? Recording 6K, 4K, okay, that's photos. Here's the camera body. We'll set that aside. GH5 lanyard. Go ahead and open it. Gonna get in the way more than anything else. Lumix GH5. Looks like we got a power cable for probably the power adapter. USB Type-C. So this camera is USB Type-C, as everything is coming these days. We've got looks like the battery charge plate. Battery itself, it's definitely a bigger battery than the Sony A7 series that I'm used to. And this is the adapter piece that connects to the side of the camera to hold your HDMI cables and audio cables in place, keep them from snagging off the camera, bringing the whole camera crashing down, or bending the ports as these cables are plugged into the camera itself. So nothing else in the box. All right, and the star of the show. Man, it's exciting. This thing is a beast. It's got a real nice grip to it. The problem with the Sonys, they try to make them compact, but they're compact, very dense cameras. So even though they're perhaps smaller footprint than this camera, it feels just as heavy, maybe even heavier. I can get full grip on the camera as opposed to with the Sonys, my pinky is usually like that. We've got a mic adapter up here. And the camera is weather sealed, and you can tell because all these flaps here are rubber and they seat back in very tightly. Then we've got our full HDMI port right there. If you shoot video, you'll know that most of these DSLR type cameras come with micro HD, which are not the easiest cables to find, and they're very limiting on size and things like that. So micro HD to HDMI, micro HDMI to HDMI cable are harder to find than just normal HDMI cables. So with a full size HDMI port, you're able to use a normal HDMI cable to plug into your external monitors or recorders. Here's your USB Type-C. It's a menu. This is how you navigate through the menus. It's got this little joystick thing here. We've also got dual SD card slots. So this is huge. You can record to two You can record to two SD cards at the same time, one to the other, or simultaneous, I believe. It's probably fill up one and fill up the other. And you should be able to hot swap them so you can just continuously record for as many SD cards as you have. Now, another one of the main reasons why I wanted this camera is for this screen right there. Not only is the screen flipping out to the left of the camera, but you can also do that. Now, why is this so hard for manufacturers to understand? If I'm vlogging with the camera, I need to see myself. I need to see how the exposure is. I need to see if I'm in focus. I have no idea why. Sony only has, I think, one camera that does this. The RX100 Mark V, Mark IV, the RX100 series. Small little camera, the screen flips up. Now this here is perfect. I can see myself, the screen's articulating to the right, and if I wanna just tuck it away, fold it, push it back, nice and clean. Not only that, but the screen is also, it seems to be bigger. Maybe it's the same size. All right, so first let's take a look at the screens now that I have it in front of me. So it's the Panasonic is definitely a wider screen, and the A7, they look like they're the same height, but the GH5 is definitely a slightly wider screen. All right, now let's take a look at the sensor comparison. Look at the difference of those sensors. That is nuts. All right, so now let's take a look at this lens. Native lens for the GH5. I was thinking about maybe getting the Metabones adapter that'll allow me to use some of my EF glass, Canon glass on this camera, but from what I was reading, we've got in-body image stabilization, optical image stabilization on the lens, and if you get them together, they work together to make the image even more stable. This being more of a run and gun setup that I'm thinking for this camera, I'm definitely gonna be needing stability a lot more than a normal studio camera. So I figured this would be a good match, so let's see how they both work together. I really like it when manufacturers include cases with these expensive lenses. I'm not too impressed with this cover, mainly because it really offers no protection. This is basically cloth and a little bit of padding on the bottom. If I drop this lens, more than likely it's gonna get damaged because there's nothing protecting it on the sides. So I probably wouldn't even use this actually. Got the lens hood, plastic material, that's fine. In this case, I'm looking for something really lightweight, so the lighter they can make it, the better. Star of the show, well, not the star of the show, but the co-host. Oh, almost dropped it. Lumix G. 12 to 35, so this is a f2.8 lens. Your aperture will not change as you zoom in and out. Let's try to zoom this thing. So as you zoom in and out, it's gonna stay at 2.8. I do not like varying apertures, I guess you can call it. This is 2.8 throughout the whole focal length. So if you go from 12 all the way to 35, you're still gonna be at 2.8, still letting plenty of light in, and you'll still be able to get some good bokeh effect. So let's take a look at this lens real quick. As expected, not too big of an opening, only on the bigger, I guess the more telly lenses that you'll see a really big opening on the lens itself, and it's got a really good weight to it. I wanted this to be as light of a lens as I possibly could get. Optical image stabilization on and off here. I would never turn it off, so all right, fit that in there, and there we go. So that's pretty light. I'm liking that. Let's put the battery in it. So overall, it's manageable. It's manageable. It definitely got lighter there. I mean, definitely got heavier with the battery. Let's try to put it on a quick tripod. So here I've got a Rode video mic and a Joby tripod. So this is the setup, guys. All the weight, it seems to be centered a lot more even than with the Sony setup. In either case, this will tire you out a little bit. So it's good to just kind of hold it like this and then switch hands every now and then. But this doesn't feel too bad. This is actually pretty manageable. And with the flip out screen, yeah, that's perfect right there. Hopefully the battery came with a little bit of juice in it. So let's see. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little icon here that says Dual 2 with the little handshake icon. It's basically telling you that you're using the combination between the lens and the in-camera body stabilization to get twice the stabilization. All right, guys, so that's a quick unboxing of the Panasonic GH5. I've been very excited to get this camera. There was some footage that came out about 3 months ago enticing this camera. It was 4K 60p, which is another thing this thing is touting, and it just blew me away. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're a previous GH4 user, are you gonna upgrade to the GH5? Are you planning on upgrading to the GH5? What do you think of the differences between the two cameras? Are you a Sony user? I'm definitely a Sony user. I'm gonna be making a comparison video between the Sony a7R II versus the GH5. We'll see which one fares out better footage-wise and overall use. Go ahead and like the video if you're enjoying the content, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.